emojis in the chat, pimps. Crying emojis in the chat. Oh my lord. Cat is literally downstairs crying. That's right, folks. Breaking news, folks, from TJ Gamebox from the Twitterverse. It happened, folks. Our boy Phil decided to spend some of that positivity that he received Wednesday night during the Fat Cat reveal stream and spend it on WWE Champions. That's right. And what was he going for? He was going for, I'm guessing, what was his name? Brutus Beefcake. There it is. Brutus Beefcake. Apparently Hulk Hogan's best friend. And we know that this was going to happen. I was just waiting. I think I tweeted out on Wednesday night after the stream. I said, oh, TJ Gamebox, I'll be looking at your Twitter. Let me know how much Phil spent on WWE Champions. Because anytime Phil gets any positivity in the realm of several $100s, like he did during that night, he's going to spend it on WWE Champions. And lo and behold, there you go. That's right. But the odd thing is that Cat was on screen, so Cat specifically knew how much Phil made that night. Which lends me to think, wow, this guy's gambling addiction is so bad that it doesn't even matter that his wife, who in the past has basically laid down the law and put her foot down and said, you can't be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on WWE Champions. And Phil, of course, promised never to do that again. To cut back on spending, to not spend on mobile games. And we're here several years later after that promise, and we have him spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in WWE Champions. It was like 2 weeks ago where he spent like $1,500 on WWE Champions. And here we go again in the new year, wasting nearly $500. And this is just preliminary. This was what, 15 hours ago? So, if TJ goes back and take a look again, I'm pretty sure he's probably up to $1,000. But of course, we can't report that unless we have some official news from TJ on Twitter. So as of right now, Phil has spent $442 in the pursuit of getting a Brutus Beefcake. I'm guessing, what is it? Brutus Beef. Okay, so recruit Brutus Beefcake Hall of Fame. That's right. That was apparently the Hall of Fame event that occurred. So we all know that when events occur and you only have a little bit of time, you can't win any of these prizes. You have to actually spend money. That's the only way you get these cards, these sweaty JPEGs, is by spending hundreds of dollars on this game. And that's what Phil did. And as you can see, he hasn't been spending that much, but he was all the way down to 62. He's ranking 62. And we know our boy Phil typically ranks anywhere between the 4th and 12th rank in most of these events, and he's all the way down to 62. So I'm guessing, being that Kat was on stream and she saw the kind of money Phil was pulling in, that he couldn't waste too much money. He had to keep it under wraps. And the interesting thing too is that if you watch the Fat Cat reveal stream, notice what Phil did. Phil, every time he got a tip, he was like, oh my god, this is so unprecedented. I didn't expect this. Remember that huge deal he made about that $20 tip from $2? How big and amazing it was. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, this fucking guy, 1 minute man must be sitting back saying, what the fuck? I give you $20 every day. And I don't get this kind of praise. I don't get this, I don't get this type of hoopla over my fucking tips. And you got $2 who just simply tips $2 every once a month. He tips a $20 tip, and Phil is going bonkers like that never happened to him ever before, which was utter fucking ridiculous. And of course, we all know he was simply just putting on a show for Cat. He was showing Cat, oh, this never happens. I never get this kind of money. I never get these huge donations. If I'm lucky, I may get $20 or $30 a night. And of course, with PayPal fees and taxes, I really don't make much. Because we all know, and we can speculate that Phil uses his tip money on WWE Champions. And the interesting thing is he made $300 something, and then the early stream he made $1 something. I think for that day, yeah, Phil pulled in over $400 for tips Wednesday on his day off. I think, yeah, he made about $400, I think. And lo and behold, this is what he spends. He spends $442. How fucking coincidence that it is that every time Phil spends big money, he always spends the amount or close to the amount that he made in a specific event. I'll give you one specific example. The last time he welled out, he had made a good amount of money on the Christmas stream, the Christmas Eve stream, and I believe it was the New Year's Eve stream. If you total up all that money that he made on those 3 streams, that was about the same amount of money he spent on WWE Champion. It's just so it's such a fucking coincidence, right, Phil? And all this just shows, yet Phil lied again. It confirms the bank leaks. It confirms that Phil uses his tip money on WWE Champions, and occasionally will use the money that he gets from his YouTube check on WWE Champions, but that's pretty rare that happens. And lo and behold, what he ends up doing is I'm pretty certain that Kat doesn't know the type of tip money he pulls in. So she has really not. She either has no clue that Phil is spending thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE Champions, or she's being woefully neglectful. Like she just doesn't care because she just doesn't want to stir the pot, or Phil has ingrained in her so much to not question him on finances, so Kat just turned a blind eye and just doesn't care. And she figures, you know what? As long as I'm getting my 3 DoorDashes a day, I'm getting my sushi, I'm getting my Xbox, I'm getting my Starfield and my Skyrim, then I don't care, I'm happy. Which is so fucking sad and pathetic. Especially knowing that Phil lies just about everything, how he doesn't have money to buy this, he doesn't have money to buy that, he doesn't have money to have a proper honeymoon, he doesn't have enough money to take a trip, he doesn't have enough money to go out somewhere, maybe take a day stream off and hang out with his wife because he doesn't have money. And yet he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a fucking mobile game. He's way over 100K. He's probably pushing about 150 to 175K on this game, minimum. I would like someone to actually go back and actually try to crunch the numbers to see if they can figure out what he roughly spent on this. Because as far as I know, he's been playing this game at a minimum for 6 years. 6 or 7 years. And the last time we looked at the bank leaks, that was about, a year and a half period. And it looked like he spent 40K on WWE Champions in that time span. You times that by 4 or 5 times, I mean, the numbers must be just fucking outrageous. Outrageous. I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Every time, I shouldn't feel surprised, but for some reason, every time I look at these numbers, I feel shocked. I get like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this fucking dude? What's wrong with him? Why can't he control himself? And he just can't. And I guess it goes with other addictions, gambling, alcoholism, sex addiction, all of these addictions kind of have the same pattern. And the call to those things are stronger than anything else. That addiction to WWE Champions is stronger than his marriage, is stronger than his financial livelihood, is stronger than keeping his roof over his head. And you constantly find that with addicts, either alcohol, drugs, they just don't care. All they care about is getting that fix. And that's what they need. They need to get that fix, and it doesn't matter who they hurt. It doesn't matter who they steal from. It doesn't matter who gets, destroyed in the process. They'll just continue doing what they're doing. And they figure, I'll deal with the consequences later. And Phil, what'll eventually happen is, of course, the consequences will hit you. Just like they did last year with the side scrollers. You may think that the side scrollers didn't hurt you. That shit hurt you fucking big time. And the main point that hurt you was WWE Champions. That's what hurt you. That's what hurt your credibility in the interview. No one believed you. And for that, you ended up losing nearly 20K in revenue last year because you thought you were fucking smarter than anyone else in the room. And you got busted and snagged. And you think that's the same thing that's going to happen with the Mike Clum documentary. You're so fucking slick and you're smarter than anyone in the room that you're going to outsmart Mike and he's going to do your bidding. I'm telling you right now, Phil, that is not going to happen. It is not going to fucking happen. And I'm going to be here to watch it, point, and laugh. Anyway, crying emojis in the chat. Hopefully Cat's not downstairs literally crying after watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.